Here you go, guys. I promised you that the Auburn Clemson game will be analyzed. And the reason why I wanted to do this matchup was because Auburn is Alabama's biggest rival, and it'd be a good idea to see where they started out in the season, watch maybe another game as get closer. Just kind of see what they're working with, to see what they have. And then, of course, with Clemson, we played them 2 times in the last 2 national championships. They are ranked right now the number 2 team. I don't know if they're going to make it back there, but I wanted to get a look at them too. So kill 2 birds with 1 stone with the same analysis. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you are looking forward to this too. Just few quick things to start before I actually get into the analysis. I'm going to keep it short. I won't go through every single play. But I will say that Auburn was able to run the ball early on until Clemson realized that they didn't have to worry about Auburn passing the ball because their pass protection was so bad. They were getting pressure on Stidham just about every play. He was jittery. He wasn't really making throws that he needed to make to be successful, and they just keyed in on the run, and that really slowed down Auburn's offense. Auburn on offense had 2 good drives to start the game, kicked 2 field goals, could have had touchdowns. I'll talk about those plays, and it could have been a difference in the game, honestly. But basically, Auburn can't pass the ball deep. They just can't. They don't have enough time in the pocket. Their tackles were dominated by the Clemson defensive line. And to be fair, that was the Clemson defensive line, which has some really good pass rushers. I don't know how to hold up across the rest of the season. I'll probably try to look at them again. But they struggled against elite pass rushers. Gus Malzahn really needs to implement some more intermediate routes into his play calling. His playbook is just very simplistic by nature. He'll run a lot of the same plays, so he has a small number of plays that he'll run over and over again with slightly different variations to throw the defense off and keep them off balance. He'll do a running play. He'll do a trick run, play with motion. Then he'll do a deep pass off the play action with the trick run, off the trick motion. And so it's very interesting. They really work on more route concepts, at least based on what some of the commentators said and based on what I've seen. A lot of their passes were either very short or down the field. And they don't have enough time to make that happen. If you can key in on short passes and run, you'll stop the Auburn's offense, which is what Clemson did. Now, for Clemson themselves, before I go to them, Auburn's offensive line is just not good. At least the tackles aren't. The tackles in particular struggled. They were slow to stay in front of the speed rushers, like I said. But the Auburn defense overall was amazing. Their D-line is great. Marlon Davidson, this new guy, Holland, and then Paul James at linebacker. And some talent got number 5 in the middle, one of the defensive tackles. I don't know his name at the moment. But they flashed Deshaun Davis at linebacker, Carlton Davis at cornerback. They have a really solid defense. And it's probably the best defense that Alabama sees all season, probably into the playoffs. So, now with Clemson, their defense looked good too. Their DBs look a little handsy, look like they get out of position a little bit, like they were last year actually, which is one of the reasons why I think we could take advantage of that last year in the matchup. Especially some of their DBs, and it just seems like they have an issue with remaining disciplined at times on defense in terms of technique and tackling, and that comes up every once in a while. But they have a lot of talent. Linebackers are fast. If not a little bit short, they are fast. So that is interesting. But their new quarterback, Kelly Bryant, number 2, he kind of reminds me of Jalen Hurts a little bit because he's more of a design runner. He's more of a design runner than Watson. Watson was more of an extender type guy with his legs. He wasn't really trying to make plays with his legs all the time. He just extended plays and looked down the field. Kelly Bryant looks like a natural runner, kind of like how I talked about Jalen Hurts. He runs a 4.40 as well. Looks natural, striding down the field. And he's made some progress in his throwing too. He made some 2 really beautiful throws in this game that you'll see. But anyway, enough of the overall analysis. Let's get right into the plays. Starting in the first quarter here, Auburn starts out with the ball. The left tackle and the left guard, they were beat with power to start the game. They just got bulldozed. And Stidham was already jittery. He saw it coming. Based on the first game, he was scared. He saw it coming again. The offensive line could not protect him, and he crumbles under pressure. Now, before the season started, I didn't expect that. I guess at Baylor, he really didn't get a lot of pressure going up against some of those Big 12 pass rushers, but he looked really, really jittery here. Going on down, 13 minutes, 50-second mark. Clemson only rushes 3. Jarrett Stidham has time to pick his spot against the zone. They play zone here, trying to play coverage. He throws the ball over the linebacker's head to hit his wide receiver, Nate Craig Myers. That and it's an example of what he does when he's not scared, and it shows his ability and decision making with that type of throw. That's what they were expecting to get from Stidham all the time if they could have protected him. 13 minutes, 25 seconds. The right guard and the right tackle of Auburn, they pancake Clelin Ferrell, the Clemson defensive lineman. And the center, number 73 for Auburn, blocks nicely too. And they made a nice, huge hole, actually, but the linebackers of Clemson fielded quickly and stopped the run for 3 yards. 12 minutes, 55 seconds. A great pocket for Jarrett Stidham, but he misses his wide receiver, number 11, which is Kyle Davis, I believe, too high. He had him open. He had leeway with the throw. He could have just threw it out there and let the receiver go and get it, but he threw it way too high. He had some struggles here. 12 minutes, 44 seconds. Clemson sent the blitz, but it was picked up. And it was nice protection as Jarrett Stidham tries Kyle Davis on a back shoulder throw on the left sideline. It was an okay throw. And like here I said, the DB was too handsy. The ball was a little inside, though. If he had to put it out in front, maybe the receiver could have stuck his hands out and caught the ball, so Jarrett Stidham could work on that placement a little bit. But it was pass interference on that play. 11 minutes, 45 seconds. Auburn was running an RPO. Jarrett Stidham made the right read, yet he threw the ball behind Kyle Davis on a slant route. The wide receiver had to jump and turn to get the ball, and he couldn't do it, no catch. If it was accurate, it was most likely a touchdown because he was going to be able to keep running and get into the end zone. So Auburn missed an opportunity to score a touchdown here. 11 minutes, 37 seconds. Cameron Petway ran into a clogged up middle. He should have attempted to bounce this ball left, but bouncing the ball out and running laterally is not his skill set, as seen by some later runs in the game where he couldn't really move laterally well, and they caught him. So that was an issue. 11 minutes left in the first quarter. Jarrett Stidham delays his snap to throw off the blitz. The center does a good job of picking up number 34, which is the Clemson linebacker, on the blitz. So Jarrett Stidham had to do a rollout to the left and scramble. He gets about 9 yards. Nice play. Let's see. Well, 9 minutes, 18 seconds. The Clemson D-line, they just were unmoved. Auburn's offensive line tried to get some movement up front. Nada. Strong. They were like, you're not going to move us out of the way this time. Now, 4th and goal for Auburn. It gets a delay on the snap to, it was like a delay of game. And that really messed them up because they were really close to the goal line. They were going to go for it. But because of that delay of game, they had to keep a field goal. So not only did they miss the opportunity to throw the touchdown to Kyle Davis, but then they made a mistake on the offensive line and pushed him out of an attempt to go for a touchdown on the goal line. Kick a field goal. 7 minutes, 13 seconds. Pass protection is good for Kelly Bryant on a rollout right, and he hits Hunter Renfro on an out route. And then the next play, they got on the ball at the 7 minute, 3 second mark. So, mind you, I said 7 minutes, 13 seconds on that previous play. They got on the ball at the 7 minutes, 3 second mark. That was 10 seconds. Man, they can move fast when they really want to. My voice. 6 minutes, 32 seconds. Another rollout. So, they like to do a little rollouts here and kind of get the pocket moving for Bryant. But they got no gain on that play. The 6 minute mark, you're going to hear me say his name quite a bit. Holland, number 4 for Auburn. He beats the right tackle, number 73. The right tackle for Clemson struggled in this game, could not handle the speed rush as well. And so that was interesting to see that both Auburn and Clemson struggled with their right tackle spot and pass protection. He beat them with ease on the speed rush. I mean, these guys out here trying to emulate DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller. While number 91 from the Auburn defense on the left tackle had leverage and he won his battle as well. They team up for the sack on Kelly Bryant. 4 minutes, 53 seconds. Pretty good pass protection, except that number 7, I believe this is Auburn back on the ball now. Number 7 was beating the right tackle inside with power, but Jarrett Stidham delivers the ball to Kyle Davis on the outside in a one-on-one matchup. The DB was too handsy again, so they got another PI. So like I said, Clemson gets a little handsy with their DBs, and it gets them in trouble sometimes. 4 minutes, 41 seconds. The tackles protection breaks down again, but Jarrett Stidham commits to running. And I believe he did a little bit too fast. So even though the tackle's protection broke down, he still could have stood in there a little bit longer and looked for an open receiver. He gets about 4 yards. 1 minute, 38 seconds. Clelin Ferrell, he beats Auburn's left tackle with ease. Jarrett Stidham tries number 23 on a, what was on a 2-yard out route or whatever on the left sideline, 2-yard outline on the left sideline. But the coverage was just way too good. not 2 yard out route. It was a number two. The Clemson DB was on him, but his coverage was too good. As number two was actually running ahead of number 23, he was running the route for him, so there was no way you're gonna get that ball in there. The ball sailed overhead and out of bounds. Where am I going next? 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Good pass protection, but Jared Stidham didn't find anybody. He didn't hit number 36 or Cameron Petway on the check down on his left side. Cameron Petway was 2 to 3 yards shy of the end zone. Instead, Jared Stidham rolls out right and gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. And you know what? I don't know if Cameron Petway would have made the touchdown because like he was 2, 3 yards shy of the end zone, and the DBs were there like they were coming up. But Cameron Petway's big; he could have ran them over to the end zone. Jared Stidham has to be aware of that check down. Start of the second quarter, the Auburn pocket collapses like immediately. I mean, they get rushed. Number 99, he curves the pocket. By his rush, he makes the kind of tackles kind of lean in like this, which makes the pocket. And number 7 does the same thing to the right tackle. And the right guard, number 71, was beaten by hands. You know, number 42, Cleveland Farrell, had really good hand usage on this play. And he gets in there, pressure Stidham. Stidham has to step up while the right guard's getting beat, so Farrell gets the sack. I think number 90 also got him too. Yeah, so Jared Stidham actually stepping up to get sacked, so they had to settle for another field goal. So they missed opportunities to score touchdowns. I believe if he had a check down to Petway, he could have scored a touchdown. So they missed 2 opportunities. Now they only have 6 points. That's the last time Auburn scored in this game. Last time, which is crazy. So that was interesting. Where am I going next? 13 minutes, 10 seconds left in the second. Deshaun Davis makes a great tackle in space on Kelly Bryant to stop the conversion attempt. They were going for it on 4th down or 3rd down, whatever. And the Clemson lineman actually missed his block due to a breakdown in picking up his guy. And so Clemson had to punt the ball. Clemson actually could not move the ball. Auburn's defense started out really, really well. And actually, they played well the whole game. Unfortunately, their offense just could not help them out. 11 minutes, 10 seconds. 4 wide receiver look here for Auburn. But the get off on the ball by number 99, you're going to hear me say 99 a lot for Clemson, on the left tackle, he blows right by him. But Jared Stidham's drop, like his drop was short. It was about 3 yards, so he didn't step into the rush. So it was a nice pocket, actually. And he checks down underneath the number 23, but there were no rack yards or run after catch yards because the ball was a bit high and it was not enough. He didn't throw it enough to the sideline. Like it was like right at his receiver instead of leading him towards up the field. All the receiver could do was just jump and catch the ball. No run after the catch potential. 8 minutes, 50 seconds left in the second quarter. Number 4, Holland again for the Auburn defense, goes around the right tackle of Clemson, number 76. So it seemed like they were mixing and matching, trying to figure out who the best right tackle was at this point. Though they settled on 73, but it didn't help. He goes around him with ease. 76 even cheated his footwork. He cheated his footwork toward Holland's direction. And he had horrible hand usage to go along with it. And Holland still got around him for the easy rush. Holland just knocked away 76's hands and kept going on around him. And he gets to hit Kelly Bryant right as he's trying to throw. So he impacted the play. But I think Kelly Bryant was able to get the throw off and get close to a first down, I believe. They got like 9 yards or whatever. So that was unfortunate. It was Hunter Renfrow again. You know, Hunter Renfrow, man. This guy's just making plays. This is what he does. Also, number 5 on the Auburn defense, the defensive tackle, he also was pushing the Clemson right guard up the field as well. So Kelly Bryant really just made a good throw under pressure. Where are we going here? 8 minutes, 17 seconds. The Auburn has 2 outside defensive ends standing up, and the DTs are playing in the middle, defensive tackles. I thought that was a little interesting formation they did there, kind of where you want to get more pass rushing guys standing up and have your 2 defensive guys clog up the middle, kind of providing a different look to confuse the offense. They did that maybe once or twice. I don't know how often they did it. 7 minutes, 46 seconds. Who was number 6? Oh, because Kelly Bryant got hurt on that conversion they tried to do earlier in the game. He came back, but he got hurt, so they brought in this guy here, number 6 for the Clemson offense. He targets Deion Kane in a one-on-one coverage with Auburn DB number 12. And it was definitely, I say, a pass interference by 12 that wasn't called. But either way, it was poorly thrown. The pass was poorly thrown by number 6. It's Cooper. I don't know his first name. The ball was way too far inside and low. It was inside and low. You know, I hate when quarterbacks do that. You know, I always talk to you guys about don't throw the ball inside and low when it's supposed to be a back shoulder throw. That ball has to be on the back shoulder up the field toward the sideline. You're asking your ball to get picked off there. Luckily, it wasn't, and it was a pass interference instead. But then they missed the field goal on the fourth down later on in the drive, so Auburn got away. 6 minutes, 13 seconds left. Jarrett Stidham delays his snap to stop the blitz. I'm noticing more and more quarterbacks doing this. I guess my eye is now trained to see. I see quarterbacks waiting to snap when they see a possible blitz, and they're throwing off the blitz timing, which is cool. But then he has good pass protection after he does snap the ball. He hits Will Hastings, number 33, underneath for about 9 yards. So good awareness by Jarrett Stidham. He just didn't show that consistently throughout the game. 5 minutes, 7 seconds. Jarrett Stidham has nice pass protection as his line picks up the blitz. Jarrett Stidham unloads to number 12, Eli Stove. Shows off his arm strength on this play. The ball could have been led a little more toward the center of the field because it was a post route. The ball ended up more on top of his helmet as opposed to out in front of his hands. At the hit, I think it hit like 2/3 the back of his helmet, so the ball kind of hit right here. But this seemed to be more of the receiver lacking adjustment to the ball skills, so his ball skills may be lacking a little bit. Because number 31, Ryan Carter, the Clemson DB, I told you they get a little handsy and they're a little undisciplined sometimes. He was beat. He was beat on this play. All Eli Stove had to do was use his body to shield Carter away from the ball and go up and get it. Unfortunately, it ended up as an incompletion. So Auburn had to work on the receivers in the offensive line. 4 minutes, 59 seconds. Nice pass protection again as Jarrett Stidham tries Kyle Davis in a one-on-one matchup with number 2 on the right sideline. Jarrett Stidham should not have thrown this ball as number 2 had Kyle Davis blanketed. He was on top of the receiver. So the Clemson DBs were like shutting down the Auburn receivers basically. It was no separation for them, and Jarrett Stidham threw the ball out there anyway. It wasn't picked or anything, but that was just a bad decision. 4 minutes, 53 seconds. Nice play design on a rollout right pass to, what was it, number 9 or for 9 yards, whatever. Jarrett Stidham's ball was a bit late. Oh, it was number 9. I think it was not Cameron Petway, but what's Cam Martin. His ball was late as Martin had to hesitate for just a second to catch the ball that was slightly behind him, and Clemson closed in fast. But if the ball had been on time, if it had been accurate, the momentum probably could have taken him forward. He could have got a first down running over some guys. But that's the difference between a good pass and a bad pass. At this point in the game, Cameron Petway had 15 carries. 15 carries at this point in the game. So that's shows you how Auburn was moving the ball and running and wearing him down. If they had had any offensive rhythm, they could have possibly kept going. 4 minutes, 1 second. Kelly Bryant's back in. 3 minutes, 25 seconds. Kelly Bryant throws a poor jump ball. It's very poor. A poor jump ball to a covered up Deion Kane. Deion Kane was covered up, but Deion Kane made a great play. The ball floated and it was inside. So that was the second time he made a horrible throw. So he made 2 horrible throws and he made 2 good throws. He made some horrible throws, but I'll probably get to those, maybe not. The ball floated and it was inside. So if your ball is floating, hanging in the air, and it's inside, you're really asking to get your ball picked. But Deion Kane, with his long body and long arms, reached out, grabbed the ball, made a great play on Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis plays some sticky coverage this game, but unfortunately, he couldn't stop this play. Let's see, 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Kelly Bryant was forced out of the pocket as the guard was getting blown up. So that's the second time I mentioned the guard getting beat, or maybe the third. But he used his elusivity to get a nice 9-yard scramble. So the right side of the Clemson offensive line seems to be more of a weak point, which is funny because that's Alabama's offensive line is stronger on the left side, and the right side was considered more of the weak point. But that's kind of relative at this point. So it's really interesting to see not a continuity, but I guess a similar issue. 2 minutes, 5 wide for Auburn. They usually don't do this. 5 wide for Clemson, actually. They go 5 wide with the receiver. Number 4 for Auburn, which is Holland again. He pushes the Clemson right tackle, so 73 is back in the game. He pushes him aside like a rag doll to pressure Kelly Bryant. Go look at the play. Like, Holland was working these guys. But he gets the pass off to Hunter Renfro before he got hit, so unfortunate there. 1 minute, 40 seconds. Number 4, Holland, not Paul Holland, this Paul James. Holland does it again and almost gets a sack, but Kelly Bryant evades it. But the pressure was still coming from the other side, so he ends up throwing away. So Holland was really working those tackles, those right tackles in particular. 1 minute 31 seconds, okay protection, but Kelly Bryant puts the ball into the ground. It was a really, really bad throw. So he had protection, but he threw a really bad pass. Uh, 1 minute 26 seconds. Here's one of those beautiful throws I was talking about. Kelly Bryant has good protection, and as he lofts a really nice pass to Ray McLeod, who is short. Ray McLeod is really short. He's like 5'10". The ball was placed perfectly over the shoulder toward the sideline, so it's back shoulder, and it landed in the bread basket. Like just he was able to reach it out and catch the ball like this. No way for the defender to impact the ball, and the defender played really good coverage. The defender was right there. He just could not impact the ball because the ball was placed so well that he couldn't touch it. That was a beautiful throw after just making some horrible throws. And this was the first drive they really got something going. They ended up ending this drive with like a touchdown scramble, a QB draw. Start of the third quarter here. I'm going to go down to the 13-minute, 36-second mark. Auburn's rush, they do kind of like a rush contain type thing here to keep Kelly Bryant in the pocket because he's showing off his move scrambling. This time he goes for Ray McLeod again in a one-on-one matchup on the left sideline. And then one more time he lofts a beautiful, beautiful throw toward the sideline, over the shoulder, back shoulder toward the sideline, in the place where the defender can't get it. He gets a really nice completion. Can't fault the guy for that. Carlton Davis is in good position, but he didn't turn around actually. So if he had to turn around, maybe he could have got a hand on the ball, but it still was a beautiful throw. This video went longer than I thought it would, but it's actually about to end quickly. Now imagine if I had told you all the plays. 13 minutes, 15 seconds. I think, oh yeah, Clemson tried to do an RPO. Auburn defensed it well. They didn't allow any room for a run to happen, so Kelly Bryant didn't hand it off. And they had tight man-to-man cover, so Kelly Bryant just had to force a pass to a receiver. Didn't work. 12 minutes, 43 seconds. Auburn seems to have anticipated the pocket moving to the right as they almost blow up the play. The line actually shifted toward the side where the pocket was rolling before the play started. But the running back chops number 91 down before he can pressure Kelly Bryant, and Kelly Bryant throws a dart. He showed his arm strength on this play to Hunter Renfro on an out route. It had all the arm strength needed to make this throw because the defender was right underneath where the ball went. So if that ball had been any less powerful, it could have possibly been a pick or pass defense. And Clemson seems to like throwing those intermediate out routes to Hunter Renfro. So that is something to look out for. As they also did a little out route to Renfro, a little pick route as well against Alabama in the championship game. So there seems to be a favorite player there, I guess. 11 minutes, 56 seconds in the third quarter. Keep in mind this. Clemson did another design QB run for a touchdown. That was the last touchdown. So 14-6 before 10 minutes are even up in the third quarter, before it even gets to the 10-minute mark or the 11-minute mark completely, the scoring is stopped. So the defenses played well, but the offenses just didn't do great. The blocks were good on this play, and he just missing tackles. That's why he was able to run in for the touchdown. And he showed his elusivity here, too, and his speed. He actually can run a 4.4. 11 minutes left in the third quarter. Two tight ends for Auburn, but the middle was stuffed, so they couldn't get any push from the Clemson defensive line. So Cameron Petway bounces outside. That's why I say he can't really move laterally. He tried to go lateral too much, and he only got 4 yards. He would have gotten more yards if he'd have just ran into the linebacker using his natural power and falling forwardness. He could have done that and got maybe 6 yards. 10 minutes, 27 seconds. Number 99 looking like DeMarcus Ware beating the left tackle, number 76 for Auburn, with the strip sack. He beat him and got a strip sack on Garrett Stidham. Luckily, Auburn recovered. But he just kind of gave him a nice little bend, went right around him, and stripped the ball right out of Jarrett Stidham's hand. Jarrett Stidham actually felt the pressure as he moved up a little bit, but he didn't seem that concerned. He just kind of like, I'll just move up a little bit and keep looking down the field, which is good. You want to keep looking down the field. But he didn't move up enough, like he was just unconcerned that the guy could get him. And he got the strip sack. 9 minutes, 41 seconds. Clemson rush collapses the pocket again and brings down Jarrett Stidham. Right now, Clemson knows that Auburn can't run the ball because they're going to run the clock out. They need to get down the field, and Clemson's keying in on the short routes. The tackles, again, were just abused and destroyed on this play as Jarrett Stidham got sacked. 8 minutes, 49 seconds. Clemson's back on the ball. Kelly Bryant misses high on the wide receiver screen, so he has some inaccurate. He's inaccurate sometimes. 6 minutes, 42 seconds. Uh, Great pressure. Wait, no, great pass protection for Jarrett Stidham. And good play design. So if you didn't notice, Clemson went 3 and out. Basically, Auburn got the ball back. Good play design with a double move for number 33, Will Hastings. But it was incomplete because I believe the Clemson defender, he impeded Will Hastings way too much on this play. Like, he ran into him, put some hands on him, and he was big, and Hastings is small. It slowed him down a lot. I believe that should have been a PI. So that was interesting. Fourth down here. Auburn's trying to go forward and get something going so they can score. They try to go play action pass on fourth down because Clemson was looking to stop the run the Petway. And it ends up in a sack because Clemson's defenders got back there so fast and refs stayed them up. So another sack. They ended up with 10 sacks. 4 minutes, 45 seconds. The Auburn defensive line collapses the pocket to sack Kelly Bryant. I mean, Auburn defensive line just came to play today. They were warriors, even though their team was letting them down. Or at least the offense was letting them down. 2 minutes, 53 seconds. The Auburn left tackle, he was slow, but he pushes number 99 wide just enough to allow QB to complete a 6-yard out. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 35 seconds. Protection was good, but Jerry Stidham tries to go to Eli Stove downfield in double coverage again. So it's the second time he tried to hit Eli Stove in double coverage, but he's not putting the ball in the right place anyway. And why would you throw when your receiver's covered up like that? Stidham makes some head scratching plays sometimes, and sometimes he makes some really good plays with some good touch. So I don't understand. 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Jarrett Stidham gets pressure immediately, and he tries to scramble away. Nope, got tripped up by the Clemson defensive line, and it was another sack. They didn't even try to run the ball on that drive. That was a 3 and out. Start of the fourth quarter. 67 total passing yards for Auburn after their first play of the fourth quarter. 2-yard out route to Will Hastings, or 2-yard route to Hastings. 67 total passing yards. That shows you the day that they had. 14 minutes, 26 seconds. The pocket collapses again as number 99 is just whipping left tackle number 76. You heard me say 99 so many times. As the rest of the defensive line was also pushing the O-line into Stidham's space, so he had nowhere to go. He scrambles right looking for his receivers, but nothing, so he just eats the big loss and takes a sack as he runs out of bounds. I mean, there's nothing you can do when your receivers aren't open and your offensive line is getting destroyed. 11 minutes, 11 seconds. Paul Holland beating the right tackle again, so hey, he didn't get the last word. Forcing Kelly Bryant to scramble, basically. But he got gobbled up trying to run away by Carlton Davis and the spy on the play. 9 minutes, 30 seconds left. Kyle Davis gets his first catch, and he's their best receiver. 9 minutes, 30 seconds left in the whole game, fourth quarter. He gets his first catch. That shows you the day they had. 7 minutes, 57 seconds. Good protection, but Jerry Stidham, being jittery, misses his open slot wide receiver, just running free. And the pressure just got to him. It was a rough day. 7 minutes, 48 seconds. Number 99 pushing the blockers so far back into the backfield that he disrupted Jerry Stidham's the rollout to the left. He disrupted it so much that Jerry Stidham had to stop rolling, fall backwards, and throw the ball away. That's just sad. 7 minutes, 5 seconds. The Auburn defensive line controls the line of scrimmage as number 95 wraps Kelly Bryant up for a sack. So Auburn got maybe one of the last few sacks, but Clemson didn't let it end there, obviously. 6 minutes, 25 seconds. Good zone defense by Auburn as Kelly Bryant had nowhere to go with the ball. He tries his tight end anyway, and he's fortunate that this pass was incomplete because if the Auburn linebacker had his bearings about him, he could have jumped that ball and maybe returned it for a touchdown. So not a good decision there for Bryant against the zone. 5 minutes, 23 seconds. Great pass protection for Jarrett Stidham as Auburn's got the ball back on a running back screen. But number 99 saw the screen. He saw it and jumped on it. And that was it because there was no other play. He couldn't throw the ball down the field because the linemen were up the field. So Jarrett Stidham just tried to run away. But he got sacked trying to run away because the Auburn offensive line was just dominated by Clemson's D-line as they got him up as they realized he was running. 4 minutes, 50 seconds. The blitz gets pressure on Jarrett Stidham. but the linebacker stunned. So they stunned their linebacker blitz. One came in this way, the other linebacker came around that way and came free once the other linebacker got picked up by the block. Um, he had a wide receiver in one-on-one matchup going across the middle of the field, almost like a little dig route. Wide open, probably would have been the first down if he had threw the ball, if he had saw him, but the pressure got to him because of the linebacker blitz. And the pressure just stopped him from looking up the field. He had taken so many hits, he just couldn't do it anymore. Sad day. So at the 4 minutes, 5 seconds mark of the fourth quarter, he got the 10th sack. Justin got sacked for the 10th time as he just keeps looking up the field, keep looking up the field, and the guys got him. Play calling's just not great because they keep sending these deep routes. They're like, deep route, deep route, deep routes. Nothing. And that's the last play I'm going to do. I mean, there's nothing more to say. I went through the whole game. I really didn't have to. I didn't give you all the plays, but I gave you the ones I found most important. And yeah, what do you guys think, Auburn fans? If you're watching this, are you optimistic about your team? Do you think your offensive line can get better? Do you think your receivers can get more separation? Do you think Gus Malzahn will call more intermediate pass routes? Clemson with Kelly Bryant. Where do you think he's going to take you, Clemson fans? If you're watching, uh, do you think this offense can still be as dynamic as the Deshaun Watson era? I'm not sure, especially that right tackle spot. What do you think about that right tackle position there? That seems like it'll be a bit of a struggle. DBs get a little handsy, so that's something to keep an eye on. But other than that, they look pretty solid shutting out Auburn, but Auburn's offense doesn't look great anyway. So that's it. See you for the next video.